Hey, Tubies! It's Psychic Bob. And it's Sunday night. It's 8 p.m. Eastern U.S. time, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific, 1 a.m. London, 2 a.m. Paris time. And you know what that means? It doesn't matter where you are. It is witching hour. Here we are. We got the whole crew together. And we got Lady Angela, Lord Tony, and Lady Carol. I want to just say good evening to y'all.
Hi, everybody. Excited for tonight's show. So glad you're here.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the group.
Hi, everybody. Glad to be here. Don't know what we're doing yet, but it's going to be great anyway.
Well, that's a good question, Lord. What are we doing? Well, tonight, we've been having so many people have said how much they've enjoyed the Wiccan Q&A. So we're going to continue tonight because there are a lot of people who wrote to me and said they have more questions. So we're going to be here. We're taking all your questions tonight. One of the things that I have to say before we get into everything is, have y'all checked out the cool witch hats we got going on here? Lady Angela is styling, and Lady Carol, they got some new hats. Why don't y'all tell about your hats?
Well, I got this one. It's a crookedy one. See how it's crookedy at the top, and I just love it. And I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts. It's pretty funny. It says, "Thinking of you," and it has a voodoo doll. that could be a good thing, too.
That's true. Voodoo dolls can do good magic as well. Healing and blessing, all of that.
How about you, Carol? What you got on?
Well, I have on a, actually, it's an old Halloween costume hat, except the top likes to go flip-flop every now and then, so I just kind of do it whatever way it wants to go.
Cool.
And I'm wearing a witchy ball necklace tonight.
Ooh.
Let me show you guys up close because my camera's kind of wonky.
I love those.
I don't know if you guys can see it clearly.
Does it open up?
Yeah, it actually opens up. It has a secret compartment. Actually, I owe Bob a big thank you for this because he had some years ago, I believe, and that's it open. And I have a crystal inside.
Oh, that's cool.
I have
one of them too. I love them. They're so neat. You can find them on Etsy. I think they got them. They're awesome.
Yep. I managed to find a set of 3 for, I think, $26 for 3.
Not bad.
And I use them all the time. And people never figure out what I'm wearing.
And you could poke a little herb in there, magical herbs, or even a little piece of paper or rune or different things. They're very, very effective. Portable magic.
Yeah, I love wearing them.
Absolutely. What's your shirt say, Carol?
Grumpy but gorgeous.
I love that. Well, I got on my stars witch hat here, because tomorrow is going to be Zodiac Monday, so we're going to have astrology. So I'm already getting my astrology book on my stars. And I'm wearing today my Wiccan pentacle in blue. I'm wearing a beautiful moonstone pentacle. So. And of course, all of us are attired in our purple cords.
Yep. Now, Tony, I'm always fascinated with his necklace he wears each night. It's such a powerful protective talisman that he wears. Can you show us that again? I always love seeing it.
Oh, I suppose it is my pentacle of the sword.
It is so cool.
I've never seen anything like that. I love that.
I figured it was perfect for what my title is. So
it absolutely is.
That's right. Well, for those of you who are new, we all we are the officers of the Order of the Purple Cord. You say, who are these crazy people? And the Order of the Purple Cord is a Wiccan order. For those of you just tuning in, don't know what this is about. We gather each week, kind of our order meeting, and all 4 of us here, we're the officers. I'm the high priest of the order, and also I am keeper of the sacred chalice. Now I want you to tell your titles and what you do.
And I'm Lady Angela. I'm high priestess of the order, and I'm keeper of the sacred book and also keeper of the sacred flame.
I'm Lord Tony, keeper of the sacred sword.
And Lord Guardian of the order.
Yeah, what she said.
I'll keep you in line, Tony.
Yeah.
And I'm Lady Carol. I'm keeper of the sacred staff.
Wonderful. So we're all gathered tonight. We thank you for joining us. You know, we know it takes a lot of time out of your Sunday, but I think we all have such a good time. It's worth the extra effort. We got a lot of people in the chat.
Bob, people are asking, what is the Oh, I was reading. Someone was saying about they want to know how to join the order. Simba, that's kind of a not correct email. You want to send an email to either Bob at readings@robert-hickman.com, or you could send me one at Angela@rarewiccaspells.com, or just go over to Facebook and type it in, Order the Purple Cord. You'll get to our main page there, and it gives you our emails, or you could just message us through Facebook, and I'll get your certificate out to you, some additional info, and also get you added to our secret group page. No, you don't have to be on Facebook to be a part of the Order of the Purple Cord. We get asked that a lot. No, you don't have to be on Facebook for it. The Purple Cord, we're worldwide. It's a pre-order. It's just a way for us to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. Facebook is just a handy outlet for us to connect on, and we really are able to speak with each other all the time and really form friendships and good family environment in the Purple Cord on the Facebook page. So those are the easiest ways to find us, and we hope to hear from some of you.
Absolutely. You know, and, you know, to speak about the order also, you know, we are an eclectic Wiccan order. Most of us are solitaries. And I founded the order in order to create a place where solitaries could come and gather, because many people are finding themselves in areas where they're isolated or there aren't any other Wiccans. And they think, gee, it'd be nice to have a group to occasionally do a ritual with. And we've done a few rituals here live, and we're working on, we're going to have in the coming weeks some more live rituals. So, you know, if you want to kind of have the experience of working with a group, we set an environment and we do group work as well. So it's a special time. You know, and you guys can all chime in, because, I mean, you can also testify. We've met so many amazing people. The order has brought together some brilliant minds and brilliant talents. And I feel very honored to be able to be part of all of it.
Absolutely. Boy, we got some regulars in here and some new people too, Bob. We got Gab, we got Simba, we got Timothy, we got Mama Bird, Stardust. We got some new names. We got Chubby Donut. That's a funny name. I like that. Sleepwalking Past Hope. We got Dawn Chance. She's a very long time Purple Cord person and a good friend of mine as well. Darla's here. We got a lot of regulars and new names. Melanie's here. She's Purple Cord. Moon Faye, Montcalm Horror. We're so glad to see you all here. Kathy Private's here.
Yay! Wow, I recognize a lot of these names. This is wonderful.
Fairy Magic. Yep.
There's Montcalm Horror is here, and Denise Simmons is here as well. This is wonderful. But guys, you are, you know, we're just so glad that you're here. You know. What's that?
We got a good question.
Yeah.
Montcalm Horror, and I'm sorry, I just jump in. I get so excited, I just have outbursts and I have to jump in. So that's just me. Montcalm Horror says, "What is the oldest spell that we know?" You know, some of the Wiccan Read is one that I always go back to. Granted, it isn't, you know, ancient history, but that's kind of like the basis, and that's one of the oldest ones that I know. And when I speak that spell out loud, the Witch's Rune, I feel it like the leaves of the past, like fluttering on the ground. You know, it stirs up the antiquity of it, and all the times others have said it, and all of history said the Witch's Rune. It's just, I know it's ancient, and I know it's powerful, and that's the oldest one that I know. How about you guys?
You know, the oldest spell that I know, I actually have a book of medieval magic spells.
Oh.
I don't have it. I'll have to bring it down here next time so I can show it to you guys. But there's in that spell, there's a spell that I have used, which is the abracadabra spell. And what you do is you take the word abracadabra, and you do it as a triangle. You drop a letter, and then it forms like your abracadabra. Then you write abracadab, then abracada, and then abracadabra. And it makes a triangle of the words. And this is believed to be a form of protection and banishing. It banishes evil. And That's actually a really ancient spell. It goes back to like the the Middle Ages. But that's probably the one I noticed.
For me, it would be the witch's bottle.
Which one?
The witch's bottle spell.
Oh, yes.
That is old. That's big. It was big in colonial America.
Yep. And Europe, for sure, it started there.
That's good. Carol, can you elaborate a little on that?
Basically, the witch's bottle spell is a protection for the witch, protecting the home, protecting their land, keeping evil spirits out, evil people out, protecting their, if they have like cattle, protecting their cattle from predators or, disease. Basically, you create a witch's bottle and you bury it in your front and your backyard. And it's supposed to protect your ground. Anything entering on your land or where you live, it protects. Mm-hmm. So, it's kind of like an outdoor spell that protects. It's a shield, basically. And I love using that one. You can use it in 4 corners as well. The 4 corners of your property, you can plant witch's bottles all in the 4 corners to protect that area of your land.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And some people, they worry about what kind of bottle to use for that. And I had some common practical advice on that. Like your old medicine bottles, you could take the label off and you could put your herbs or whatever it is you're doing. And it doesn't always have to be protection. You could put money herbs, wealth herbs, healing herbs, protection herbs, whatever it is into the bottle and bury it. So old empty medicine bottles, you want to take your label off though, but you could also draw on it with permanent marker runes on the outside, or maybe even embellish the top, the lid, and use those. Or also, one of my favorite things, if you have access to it, is empty baby food jars. They are wonderful for spell bottles, or just any other kind of bottle that has a lid you can use. But those are some things that a lot of us do have access to.
Now, one thing that I use, especially for the outside, I don't know if you guys are familiar with these bottles. I can't show you what's in the bottle, but the bottle was actually one of those little liquor bar bottles.
Those are shooters.
And you wash them out thoroughly. You soap it and, get the little baby bottle cleaner, clean them out. And these work perfect. You can bury them deep enough in the ground, and you don't have to worry about them.
Yep.
A lot of times, with bigger bottles, if you're like mowing the yard or something and you don't bury it deep enough, you end up breaking the bottle, which is not what you want to do. So I found these work really well because they're small enough to where they sink in the ground, and you don't have to worry about the spell ever getting broke.
I like that.
Timothy Gallagher says, those are awesome with rum in it.
Well, actually, I'm not a big drinker, but I had a friend that would go and no, seriously, because of my medications, I don't drink a whole lot.
Right.
But he would get these for me and he would save them up. So he would be like, you want the bottles? I'm like, sure, I'll take them. And I use them for everything. I mean, if I'm making an oil or I'm making, a salve or something like that, I will wash these out really well, and just use them. But I found that they work great as witches bottles as well because, like I said, once they go in the ground, they're not going to open. And you can always invert them with the cap and put them down in the ground. And there you go. You're good.
Yep.
That is really cool. Well, it got me thinking, it's fun we're talking about this because the other day I was at a little local shop and they were selling antique glass bottles. Do you remember back in like the 1920s and 1930s, the little blue cobalt bottles?
And brown.
And brown and cold. Yeah, they had brown too, and they had some green, but most of them were cobalt at this one store. And I was looking at those and thinking, I should buy those for spell bottles. But I didn't because they were very expensive. What's that?
You can find them online and they're not as expensive. They're new ones, but they look like that. They got them in so many colors. You really got to look online. Yeah. You can get great deals on them as well. There's a lot of places. I sell some on my website at Rare Wicca Spells, but also there's a lot of places you can get them in bulk. Sometimes you have to get them from overseas. That's how I've done and used them. for the little tiny ones as jewelry, but also good sized ones. I think Carol's idea is a great idea. Those little booze bottles are wonderful.
Carol, that is, I think you get the star for the most creative today.
Well, you know, I used to always, you know, your condiment jars, you know, sometimes you get mustard in that little jar, you know, with the screw on lid, and whenever it's empty, you rinse it out and you save those for future magic projects. And before you know it, you'll be like me with the cardboard box over there full of little empty bottles that you've just accumulated here and there. And when you need one, you got one. And I recommend the bottle one too. Carol's advice is excellent because I recommend it over little mojo bags and sachets, because when you bury them in your yard, which I've buried them in my yard, just like on our last wealth spell, I buried it in my yard, and then the deers came over and they dug it up. So sometimes animals can dig it up. And that's, if you're going to bury a sachet, it's always a good idea to make sure there's nothing harmful to animals in it. And fortunately, our wealth spell was just some herbs, so it was perfectly fine. And I took it as nature receiving that sachet and bringing blessings from it. But yeah, that's something to think about too, because animals will dig it up. And if you've got pins and needles in it, don't put it in a sachet. Use a bottle. Gav has a great advice. He says he's just done some home protection tonight by using ground eggshell and black pepper, which is a wonderful, powerful mix. And he surrounded his home with it too. And he anointed his doors with holy water that we made months ago on a witching hour tour. That's excellent. But I wanted to expand on that. Sometimes you can have holy water, and yeah, you can anoint your door, but you could also, because it's clear and it's water, you could draw a pentacle on your windows or on your doors, or even underneath your doormats with the holy water. And it's not able to be seen by neighbors or visitors or passerbys, but it's still there and it still glows with that protective light.
I like that. Lord Tony, what is the oldest spell that you know of? Have you thought of any that you can think of?
I've sat here thinking about it, and I really don't recall it. I've done the whole protection thing like Gav has done. I've walked around with just the Morton salt and made a huge circle around my home. I've done the salt water and dipped my finger in there and done all symbols on my windows and on my doors, and that's about the only ones I remember most doing.
Well, you know, that actually I think is real. That goes back to time immemorial as well. That's not something new. So that is definitely an old spell. You know, speaking of old spells, Lady Angela, there's an old spell you used to do, which I think you might have forgotten.
Oh, which one?
Well, you know, I've been getting into my sea witch magic down here at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And I discovered the magic of holy stones.
Mm-hmm.
You wear a holy stone, didn't you? I don't know if you still wear it, but you have one somewhere.
Oh, a hagstone with the hole in the middle. Oh,
yep.
My gosh, my favorite kind of stone. Yes.
Now, that's like an ancient spell, too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was going to say, for those of you in Britain, I think that the hagstones actually originated in the British Isles.
Mm-hmm.
Is anybody British there, Gab, or anybody else there who could tell me if you have familiarity with the hagstones?
I actually have one handy.
Oh, let's see.
Oh, very good.
You got to talk. Ooh.
Yep.
And what I do is I put this on the altar. And there's holes all through this thing. It's actually from a river, and the water actually did this.
That's the most special kind. Yep.
That's
and
what,
for people who don't know what a hagstone is or a hold stone, which they're my favorite kind of stone, but basically, if you can find a stone that has a hole right through it that's naturally worn through it by water, just by being in a river and water drips on it, or by time. But if it has a hole through it, it's very mystical, very magical. You can look through it, and it's like a portal. If it's small enough, I always wear them. I have one in my room. It's strung up on a red bit of leather that I wear, especially when I need special healing or protection. I'll pull it out and I'll wear that. It's a very magical item, a hold stone. And it's even better when you find it yourself. I know that they sell them online, and that's okay, but, you know, I think if you find it yourself, when I first started learning about magic, I read about these stones, and I've always been a rock hound. And so I read in Cunningham's books about the hold stone, and I was so excited. And for years, for my whole life, I would look around when I'm walking in nature at the ground at the stones and hoping to stumble across one. Then one time I stumbled across two. So I really love them. You're right, Bob. I forgot about it. I didn't forget, but I love them.
Hey, I got to stop and interrupt. We got to give a shout out here. Moonlight Star 455 just donated $10 to the show.
Oh, wow.
Thank you so much, Moonlight Star 455. That's very kind and generous. The money that's collecting for the show is I'm not personally spending it. It's going into an account that I still don't know how to access, and the money's just piling up there. But we are going to take that money and reinvest it in the show and try to create things that are going to be giveaways with that for people. So we're going to put the money back into all of y'all. So your donations are truly appreciated, and they'll go to something fun soon as I can find out how to get the money out. If there's anybody here who knows how I can get that money out, it's piling up in an account. It's separate from my AdSense money, and I don't know. So we're working on that. But I want to thank you. Thank you for your kind donation. It will be used, I promise you.
Can I show the neatest bit of things here real quick? Can I show them? Because they're very earthy and magical and mystical too. And I just really want to show them because it's witchy themed. You know, things that we make, magical things out of nature, you know. Granted, I didn't make these. I found a man who makes them, but they're amazing. He took this hunk of wood and he cut a special drawer as like a little treasure box. Aren't these neat?
That's beautiful.
And look at this big giant one. It looks like a log, but it has a drawer, and this one's actually a heart. And you could put things in it. Aren't those neat?
That's beautiful.
Real nice.
They're so neat. This one's walnut.
Oh, that's lovely. I love walnut.
I wish I knew how to make those or had the tools, you know, the special. He's got a whole shop, and I talked to him and got some from him, you know, to sell and whatnot. But I think they're just so amazing, you know. I'm going to have him make me some altar boxes too, so I'm looking forward to those as well.
I love it. I love it.
You know, those would be great for Christmas time, Yule logs.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Absolutely. Well, I got a question here. Let's see my glasses. Yeah, people are saying they love these boxes. Somebody just said it's a weed stash box.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Colorado, it could be because it's legal.
It depends on how much you got, I guess. I don't know.
There you go. Oh my goodness. Well, in Virginia, we can't have a weed stash.
The emergency stash.
And those are actually listed in my eBay store if anyone was interested or wonders. So
Yeah. Why don't you give your eBay store out so people know where to go?
well, on eBay, my store name is Rare Wicca Spells. So I gave them a go over on eBay first because it's more exposure for them to find their right home, you know. And then I'll be listing them. I'm letting them run there for a little bit. Then I'll list them on my website. But if you give me an email and you're interested, I'll contact you, and surely one of these could find a home for you. I got 5 of those ones and then 1 of the walnut ones. So my Aphrodite said you claimed this one. This is hers now. So it's not for sale.
Well, after this video posts, we're going to have all the links below.
Yeah.
I think I missed a question. Somebody had another spell question. I just lost it here. Anyways, if I missed your question, go ahead and retype it, okay? But, you know, I think when we talk about Wiccan things, you know, it's nice that when we, you know, we come back to our roots, which is nature, you know, like these boxes truly are like in tune with that natural element.
Right.
And I'd rather put money into a true craft from a spiritually attuned person than buying some, you know, something from China that's made of plastic and fake. So, anyways, what are our questions? Did you see any other questions come through, Lady Angela?
I've been scrolling. What else would you guys? Oh, can we discuss the magic of colors? Moonfae asked. That's a wonderful one.
Oh yeah, colors are amazing. You know, one of the books I would encourage you to get, it's called Natural Magic by Doreen Valiente. Natural Magic has a whole chapter on the magic of colors. She talks about the magic of colors from gemstones to room decor to plants and clothing and how it all interconnects. She gives exercises. I'm a big believer in color magic, and one of the easiest ways to practice color magic is to do candle magic, because in candle magic we rely on that color of that candle, because as that candle's burning, it's releasing that energy, that reflective vibration that's absorbed into the universe. So candle magic is a wonderful thing. Before I get into all the complex colors, if you're doing candle magic and you can't, for whatever reason, get a candle, maybe the spell calls for a purple candle, you can always substitute white. Because white is considered in magic the universal color.
I am doing it.
Sorry?
Sorry, my kid ran through. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I thought there was something technical problem. But white is the universal color, and so you can always use white as a substitute. And that could be from mojo bags to candles to gemstones. It's universal. So, did you guys want to add anything in about colors? Maybe talk about your favorite color or how you.
I wanted to add on that one of the easiest ways to do color magic, and this is something I did when I was a beginner, was in your color of your clothes that you wear each day. One thing I would do is I actually looked up what colors corresponded to each day of the week, and I still do this. On Mondays I'll wear my blue work shirt, or on Tuesdays if I have red, I'll wear red because it's ruled by Mars. Mondays by the moon. Friday I wear green, it's ruled by Venus. I wear purple on the Saturn day because it's a dark color, which is Saturday. But that's one of the easiest ways you could start to in addition to the candle magic, but something that's just simple as getting dressed in the morning. You could coordinate your clothing color to what magical theme, or if you're working a certain kind of magic, you can actually dress in a way that corresponds to that intention, in addition to your magical props and stuff.
I think that's a really good point. Let me just jump in there. I need to add something on that. A lot of Wiccans love to wear black. It's kind of a witchy color, but the general public always thinks that witches in black is meaning they're evil witches. The color black does not mean evil. Color black is a symbol of the goddess. It represents outer space. It represents the darkness of the womb, the darkness of earth, the cosmos in its totality. So when you see witches in black robes and black hats and clothes, it's not an evil symbol. In fact, the official robes of the order that I'm working on getting a designer because the standard robes. We're going to be wearing black hooded robes with the purple cord. You can wear it as like
nice,
or as a stole over like we wear. But that's the official colors are black and purple. So our robes will be black. I'm not saying you have to always wear a black robe, but I'm saying in the official gathering, when we have a group event and we are doing ritual, if you want to wear a robe, there will be an official robe of the order. And wear that with your black and purple. So black is not an evil color. Anyways, Carol, you had something to say. I think I cut you off.
What I was going to add to that was also what people forget is black is also the phase of beginnings. If you want to go back to creation itself, everything was black, and then life began in that black. And when you're starting out in Wicca, you have to kind of look at yourself as a new witch, and you don't have the knowledge that you gain as you get older in the craft. You're starting out fresh and everything is new. A lot of older witches or older practitioners will start out with black and gradually change their colors. A lot of the cloaks that we have, I have a black one I still wear. A lot of the colors that we wear work with our ceremonies. I have a gray one. I have my purple ones. I have, I'm working on a yellow one because there's different phases where you would wear different colors. Black itself is also a symbol within itself of purity, because it also represents a beginning. So a lot of people get confused with that. They're not aware that if you think of creation, it's in a black state. It's in a dark state of not knowing what the world is about.
I think that's wonderful. That is really, really good point. Lord Tony, do you have any colors that you like or that you work with? You know, that's.
I'm always wearing black and blue.
Yeah, you like those colors too.
Yeah, they match my car.
Well, you know, your car can be a form of color magic too, can't you? You know?
It can. Actually, I think you've seen a picture of it. We talked about the color blue at some point a while back, and that color manifested in the car I ended up wanting to buy.
Isn't that?
Oh, wow.
I remember that. Yes, that is so true. You know, so you see, you're manifesting, and those colors are symbols. Remember this: that color. You know, if people say, "Oh, you're paranoid or you're superstitious," you believe in this color stuff. It's actually scientific. Scientists will tell you that colors are a form of light vibration.
Yes.
I know that light and vibration are energy.
Yes.
There's real power in color magic. In fact, you know what my one of my favorite forms of color magic is? Hold on. In fact, Lady Angela, start talking. I'm gonna get it. I have to do this.
Christine C. Oh, Bob's gonna miss out on this, me saying it, but Christine says she has a beautiful set of jewel-colored crystal wine goblets from Hungary, and she'll drink out of a certain colored one when she wants to achieve something. She was asking if that's color magic. I let her know absolutely. That's really good. Just like Bob said, each color has a vibration. So she's literally drinking in that vibration of the color. That's amazing. I bet they're pretty jewel-colored crystal goblets.
That sounds
My
lovely.
word.
I heard that. I think that's a wonderful idea. All right, here's one of my favorite forms of simple color magic.
You love your crayons, Bob. I know you do.
It's my 64 pack Crayola crayons.
With the pencil sharpener.
Now, y'all have to understand the whole story behind this.
Right.
All right, let me explain. First of all, I love I'm getting back into my art, so I'm painting and drawing. So I do a lot of sketches in crayon before I do big canvases. But when I was a kid, maybe some of you had this experience. You know, when I was a kid and I was in elementary school, when kids would come in, they'd have the 64 crayon. This was the biggest box you could buy back then. It was a status symbol. And I remember as a kid, my mother would buy me this little puny box. And I used to say, I gotta have the 64 box. Everybody else has one. And you know, when you're a kid, it's a real big deal, these status symbols. This was like the Cadillac of art supplies when you were a kid. So now that I've grown up, I'm still buying it and enjoying it as much as I did when I was a kid. It's
And he's telling the truth. I remember the night Bob went to CVS and he bought himself that box of crayons. And he called me up that night and he was just telling me he was so excited. He says, Lady Angela, I got the 64 pack of Crayolas and it has the pencil sharpener. He was all about it.
I really was. I was. But you know, seriously, think about this. Like, seriously, for magic, you can draw what you want to manifest and make it in color. Like, for example, if you're trying to get a house, take these crayons and draw your dream house, you know, and you can draw and manifest into your life because our consciousness united with our action generates power. It is really a form of magic.
Absolutely. Very much so.
Wait, I have to ask Lord Tony something. Lord Tony, do your kids have the 64 pack of crayons?
No, they had markers.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and you can see my marker set. Lady Angela got me the most amazing art markers. I don't have those here because they're really big. It's hard to carry those, but they are amazing.
Bob, they make crayons now that you turn the end and it pushes them up and it's always a point.
Oh. I don't know. Don't
Wheels around the corner, Bob. We'll get you a box.
I'm easy to please. I'm like Forrest Gump. You know, give me a box of chocolates. I'm good.
Yeah.
I did want to mention when we were talking about the colors and the color blue with my car. Here's the thing about it is that I had a Volvo and it went kaput on me, and I needed a car that was going to be safe for me and my family. And I was doing the whole. I needed, protection. I wanted angels always surrounding me, and the car that came up was the first car that I actually looked at, and it was that blue Nitro that I got. And we know what color blue works with what archangel, and So now every time I'm driving, I'm surrounded in that color.
That's amazing.
I see. So that's a great example, Lord Tony, of color manifestation.
Well, that also brings to mind to me is vision boards. You know, by Tony sending out, projecting out to the universe something blue, you know, and it manifested the vehicle and all his other, he wanted protection and angelic healing in that color, and it manifested, the powers that be manifested it in the way that was best for him. When you make a vision board or just a paper and you might write out or put pictures of things that you're wanting to manifest in the short term, not years down the line, but in the next 2 weeks or the next month, and you put these images, which can be colored images. It's even better if it's colored because it sends out that vibration and it triggers different levels of your consciousness and your brain and your vision and everything. And you visualize yourself having these pictures. You manifest it. It puts it out to the universe and it manifests.
Absolutely. No, I think that really speaks to truth. And, you know, this issue about color magic, it's such a deep level. It can go in so many ways. In fact, in Doreen Valiente's book, Natural Magic, it was written back in the 1970s. And at that time, there was a big exploration in using color therapy for healing. And what they would do, and they describe this in the book, is people would go into a room, it would be dark, and they would have a lamp, and they would put different colored gels, like glass plates that were colored over the lamp. So, like, for example, if you had cancer, well, red is known to battle to strengthen blood against cancer. So if you had cancer, you could go into this room and they would shine pure red light that, you know, down on you. And that was considered a form of therapy. Very interesting stuff.
I actually have some spell pages on my website at Rare Wicca Spells that are healing using colors. And it gives different tips and advice of things you can do in the room of someone who you're trying to heal or help with their health. And an example of one of the ideas is like to take glasses. It could be bottles or glasses or whatever, but you put water and you can actually put food coloring to tint the water whatever color, and you sit them up in the window. So when the sunlight comes in and it shines through that bottle and the water, it sends out that vibration into the room for whatever kind of healing you're trying to do.
I think that's a great idea. I love that. I love that, you know.
Now, I want to show you guys something, and you'll probably be familiar with it.
Okay.
But we all know what this is.
Oh, Carol, I can't see you. Is your camera off?
No, it's on. It's working.
Now you're frozen.
I don't know. It should be on.
Kick it.
Back.
It should be working because I can see it on the little box down here. But what I'm showing is something we should all be familiar with: a chakra set. And what does it work with? Colors.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All the colors. And we use it for primarily healing.
Yep.
This relates to, you know, healing magic in itself.
Oh, that's a really good point. That is a really good point. Yes, because inside of us, all of those colors are part of our makeup.
Yeah.
And also in meditations, when we meditate, you've done some guided meditations, Bob, that were amazing, which, by the way, I know you're told all the time, but your voice in meditations is just so amazing. It has a right flow and cadence to the way you speak that you're just great doing meditation. So that said, you did some guided meditations, healing the heart chakra and stuff. And part of the visualization is either a white light, or you've even had it be a green light, you know, that corresponds with that chakra, or different chakras, and you meditate with that color, visualizing it, growing and healing and expanding. So that's also other. But color magic is a great topic for tonight.
I think our show's evolved into color magic. We didn't plan it.
Very extensive, yeah.
I think it's great because this is an amazing topic, one of my favorite topics. So who was it that asked? I didn't get the name, but thank you for bringing that to our attention, because I think it's a great subject, you know.
Yeah. Carol, can you hold up the chakra thing again?
Sure.
Maybe we can see it now.
Hopefully my camera's working correctly.
Don't touch it.
Well, I try not to.
Okay.
I don't know if you can actually see that.
Oh, it's crystals, gemstone.
It's actually the actual stones.
Oh, very nice.
I love that.
You know, I sell a large size leather journal on my website, and it's made in India, but down the front it has 7 chakra stones, and it's really special. The paper is made out of linen. It's different than parchment. It's more like a cloth, and it's amazing. But on the front, the chakra set reminded me of it, and it has 7 stones going down. So that's very good advice, Carol.
Yeah. A lot of people forget that that is actual magic in itself.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think you're right, you know. Well, you know, it's interesting. The other day I was on Etsy, I think it was Etsy, and also eBay. And I don't know what it was, but they were celebrating LGBTQA. I don't know all the letters now, but they were talking about that, and they had a lot of artists who had produced artworks, and they, you know, they used the rainbow and the rainbow flag. Every time I see the LGBTQ flag, I always say it's chakras to me, you know. I always think it's so interesting because I don't know if they realize the people who designed that flag. In fact, they had a whole expose. There was a guy who was an artist who actually designed that flag back in the, I think it was the 1970s. And, you know, they were doing an article about how far that flag has gone and how influential it is. And I always thought to myself, every time I see that flag, I always think that is such a beautiful flag because it really is also aligns people spiritually, you know, when you look at it.
Moonfei asked another question. I think Moonfei was to thank for the color magic question in the beginning. Thank you. They ask, does it mean something? Wait. Oh, wait. Man, I hate it when it flies by. Okay, they're asking if we can use construction paper to do candle magic. I'm not sure what she means by that, but construction paper is your friend in magic.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, one of the things you can do with construction paper, and Lady Angela, you probably do this as well, is you can cut out images in the color that you want. Like, for example, if you want to, you know, have money, you know, you could cut out a $ in green construction paper and put that under a candle. And that's like a talisman, you know?
Yep. Or draw a rune or a sigil or a word even. Write out. You could write on a certain, like say you're wanting more joy and happiness. So you use a yellow piece of construction paper and you write out your petition to the powers that be on it. You know, that you want more joy in your life. You want to open yourself up to joy. You want to release pain and stuff and help you to heal from that. And then burn your candle on sitting on top of that. Or even just lean it up and have your candle burning over here safely. That's wonderful ways to manifest it.
I love that. Lord Tony, I got to ask you a question. Do you remember last week when you brought all your wonderful metals on your titanium? And we're talking to you about how they dye certain metals, or they color them, they anodize them, or whatever they call that.
Right. Yeah.
That could be a form of color magic as well, couldn't it? Like you could get a titanium rod and dye it like, you know, blue or green or whatever you want to use it.
Well, dyeing it probably wouldn't be the best way to do it, but I would. Anodization makes that nice hard finish that you have on your ring.
Okay.
And powder coating would do the same thing.
You can also paint what that is, because I don't know the term, how to define that. Anodizing.
Powder coating?
Define anodizing?
It's a chemical process. I'm not even sure exactly how they do it.
Okay.
With powder coating, it's just a powder that's sprayed on there and then baked on. And
okay. I was just curious.
You do like the car rims and whatever.
Because there are different types of metals that have color too, and that goes in with color magic.
Yeah, you can heat up titanium and give it a nice rainbow look to it, and with a blowtorch and change its color.
Isn't that interesting?
You know, they're doing stuff with metal and crystals now, where they take crystals and they put, I don't know if it's titanium or what kind of metal, but they put it near it and they zap it with electricity and it colors the crystals.
Yeah, you get that aura quartz that way.
Yeah, it's amazing. Tony, you should start making those.
Here's a good question. I want to jump in here. Hold on. Sleepwalking Past Hope says, I am new to sigils, just put out a bunch. Is it okay to use numerous sigils? That's a very good question. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tony. Hold your thought. I had to get that in. Anyways, in terms of sigils, I'm kind of maybe I'm a little out of the norm, but I always say the more the better. The secret to sigils is you have to know what your sigils are and be clear in your intent. You can't just mix them all up. You have to have your sigil for one specific focus. So you can have 1 or 1,000, but each of those 1,000 has to be specifically programmed and focused. You guys want to add anything to that?
I think that's great, and especially if you make them yourself, they're even better. Tony gave us a great lesson on one witching hour night on a wonderful way to make sigils. How was it that we made them, Tony? Do you remember?
I know I showed you 2 different ways. You can write the words out that you want to use
Your
for your
petition.
sigil. Remove all the vowels, remove all of the duplicate letters, and start forming your symbol using the existing letters that you have left over in a circle, and just keep breaking it down further and further until you have a pattern that you want.
I love that.
Very powerful when you make them yourself. Very powerful. We got some feedback on the line now.
I know I'm hearing it too. But everybody turn down your volume a little bit because it's getting feedback from our thing. Just lower your volume.
I think it was Moonfae asked, what does it mean if you're drawn to certain colors? And I would think that would mean that your psyche, your higher self is telling you you need a dose of that vibration is what I would think. And perhaps you need to have more of that color in your life, that it would benefit you. That's why maybe you're drawn to it at a certain time.
I think that's true. You know, one of the things that's in that book, Natural Witchcraft, and I know I'm keep repeating this book, but it's really a great chapter. I've not read any magic books that had so much of color magic as that one. Doreen Valiente talks about how when we fall in love with the color, and it's like you said, Lady Angela, we need in our lives, but she also puts a caution in there, like you can and sometimes go overboard with a color and it can drain your other energies. Like you said, for people that love blue, like they'll design everything in the house blue. They'll paint the walls blue. They paint the furniture blue. They wear blue clothes. I mean, it's like nothing but solid blue. And what usually happens is then they'll start to have depression. Because you know that saying, I've got the blues? Well, that comes from an excess of the blue vibration. Because he says in there that if you have too much blue vibration, it drowns out red vibration, which is life force energy. You'll become lethargic and possibly depressed. So even there is such thing as too much of a good thing.
Tony somehow got bumped out of the video. I'm not sure.
Lord Tony?
Yeah, about the time we started hearing the echo. He's in the chat and he just let me know that something happened. So.
Okay, let me tell him to close down. I'll reissue him a new link.
Okay, and we really got that bad. Mine's down all the way.
I don't know what. So is mine. I don't know
what it is.
There's something wrong with the connection tonight. I think it's from the side of Hangouts. I don't think it's our cameras.
Because mine's turned down, and I don't have anything else open.
Tell Lord Tony you're going to go ahead and send him a new link. Come back in. Tell him to close out.
Okay.
All right, guys, bear with us as we get through our technical drama.
Oh, I think it's back.
You know, we can't have the witching hour without some kind of technical drama.
I know. I think it's too much power. Too many witches at one time. That's what happens when you get magical people together. Things go a little haywire. But that's all right. I tell Tony I resent the link. Hopefully he'll be able to come back in on that. Anyway, so as Tony was saying earlier, that's interesting about how metals, and you were saying, Lady Angel, also take on colors and hues, like they can be heat treated or electroshocked. And I think it's interesting, like when you think about the whole thing, like a crystal and a metal being combined, and that electrical force between them, and how it manifests in a tangible, visible change, you know?
I think it's a chemical reaction type thing.
Yes. Well, it made me think about when I was in, high school and studied chemistry, And they would show you mix different things and get the most dramatic effects and colors. It's like on a cosmic level, like even on a microscopic level, color is an issue.
Mama Bird's trying to ask me a question about a crystal. I'm not sure. If you could type it, Mom. I'm sorry if I interrupt you, Bob. I thought.
That's okay. I can't see the chat from where I am.
Yeah, she says she sent me a message. I don't know that I got it. Then she says, do I know what the crystal is, quartz or color? I'm not sure.
Oh, you're talking about the electroshock.
Oh, yeah, it's quartz for sure. Definitely quartz. And it's the different metals that they hold up to it and shock it with that makes it the different colors. Now, you got to be careful because I bought some of those on eBay and they came from China. And I strung them up and I tried to wear them. And some of them from some sellers are questionable because the color might start to fade off of them, which is interesting. I don't know if the color is being absorbed by the person or what. But you got to be careful that it's real quartz that they've used and not just painted over it because that's shady. I hate it when they try to do that. That's terrible.
Well, I have to tell you, I think Lord Tony's coming in here.
Oh, it's Mama.
That's weird.
It keeps flashing back and forth, like he's trying to come back in.
Tony, he needs to close out his original entry. I think he's still open. Close all the way out like you're leaving the chat, and then come back in. All right. Well, while we're working on Tony, I just want to jump in also with the crystal thing from Mama Bird. There's another type of crystal which I love, and I think you all may have seen it, called aqua aura. Are you guys familiar with that?
I've heard of it, but I'm not really familiar with it.
Okay. Aqua aura is a beautiful crystal. It looks kind of like aquamarine, but it's a little deeper than aquamarine. And what it is a quartz crystal. And they put it in a vacuum chamber with gold, solid gold, like a bar of gold. And then they put high frequency heat and pressure. And what it does is it makes the molecules of the gold fuse into the quartz. But when it fuses into the quartz from pressure, it's like a pressure cooker type environment. The quartz turns out aqua color. Gold stimulates change in the quartz. Beautiful crystals, aqua aura.
Oh yeah, I like angel aura. That's what I wear around my neck all the time as an angel aura crystal. I don't know if it's the same process or not.
I'm not sure, but I think those are made with titanium actually.
But it has like I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it kind of has like a rainbow aura to it. It's a rainbow angel aura crystal. I really like it. It wasn't from China. It was from America, but it's beautiful. I love it.
I think that's great.
Oh, speaking of crystals, I found on Amazon something I treated myself to. It's a great big egg-shaped labradorite necklace. I can't wait to show it when it gets here. It's going to be amazing, and it's huge, and it almost looks like a moonstone, but it's not. It's labradorite, but it has the beautiful blue and opalescent sheen to it. I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait to wear it to work too.
Yay! That sounds wonderful. Well, it's interesting because talking about gems and crystals, that's also a form of color management.
Oh yes, and your jewelry. You can wear certain colored. Maybe you wear your ruby on a certain day when you want certain energies. More energy, more power, more passion. You could wear red colored stones or garnets and stuff, or just different ones. I was trying out a diet, and something I was trying to add to it was I was wearing citrine stud earrings, and it was funny because my friend Jamie, she says, "Oh, I like your earrings." I said, "Yeah, they're to help me lose weight," and she went, "What?" But it was because of the color. It's supposed to increase your metabolism, the yellow stone, and things like that. So, but she's like, "Only you, Angela, only you."
I think that's cool. Wow. One of the stones I'm drawn to, and I've always loved, is, as I said, aquamarine. I could just swim in vats of aquamarine crystals.
Yep.
I like emeralds too. Emeralds and aquamarine. Carol, what's your favorite crystal or gemstone?
Well, I'm actually kind of a mixed kind of person because I love, you know, my pure, like clear crystals, clear quartz, citrine, you know. But lately, with everything that's been going on, I'm pulled towards amethyst.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I don't know if it's the energy change or the situation change, because I know, you know, people are going, what happened to a room? I'm moving. So I'm kind of like trying to pull that extra calmness and extra boost in so that this doesn't become too overwhelming. But yeah, I love working with clear quartz. I mean, for me, that's the go-to crystal.
Yeah. Well, you know, I have to tell you, I got a prophecy from my spirit guides. I was actually in a trance one time, and there was a spirit that came through. I think he was a Pleiadian or an ancient Lemurian. I can't remember now, but he told me that in the future, on Earth, quartz crystals will be more valuable than diamonds.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's kind of interesting. Now, he didn't tell me what's bringing that change about, but it's just interesting. And I was told that in the future, these gems will be so highly priced. Clear quartz, he said, will be more valuable than diamond. Isn't that kind of cool? So we should stock up on them now.
Wow.
Bob, Maud asked a great question. I'm hoping this is the right question. She says she has a crystal. It may or may not look like mine. I was unclear on that. But anyway, she has a crystal, and when she wears it, she has bad luck. What's that indicate? What's something they can do to help with that?
Well, you know, let me, I hate to say this because I always like to say nature is kind and loving. But the truth is that crystals have their own consciousness. And crystals choose people as much as people choose crystals. And sometimes, just like in human relationships, it's just not a match. And that can be frustrating, especially if you think it's a crystal that you love. For example, I love amethyst, like Lady Carol. I love amethyst, but you know what? I can't wear amethyst regularly. And even though I love it, I wear it very sparingly because when I put on amethyst, it makes me so hyper that I feel on edge. It's like I've been doing, you know, no-dose and 20 million grams of caffeine. And it just makes me strung out. So I have to wear other stones to kind of balance me. So sometimes a crystal will bring in a negative vibe in your life. Like crystals can be repelling or drawing. You know, they have that quality. It's almost like magnetic, but we mean more metaphysical energy. So certain crystals draw to you things, and they're not necessarily, unless they're programmed to draw certain things, they'll draw anything that's in harmony with its own desire. So, you know, you might have a situation like where you wear a crystal and every time you wear it, suddenly you lose money. All your money goes out of your bank account, unexpected bills come. It's because that crystal is bringing a vibration that's shifting things around you. So sadly, especially, and it's hard when you really like the crystal, you may have to set aside and not use it. You know, I would say before you do that, try to program your crystal, cleanse it, purify it, wash it, run it through incense, however you want to purify it, bury it in the earth, get it clean, and then you charge it with your intent. That could break that energy cycle around what you're experiencing. But if it doesn't, you may have to leave that crystal behind and not use it.
And one way of charging it too is you can hold it in your hand under the full moon and just ask the god and goddess to reprogram this crystal, this beautiful stone that you want to wear, you feel connected with, to please reprogram it that it may bring you blessings in all ways, and so mote it be. You know, and give that a go. And if it's meant to be, that will work. And if it still is acting up, then you might just need to, I'd say, bury that stone outside somewhere, you know, give it back to the earth so it could be recycled. Yeah. Bob, it's over. It's what happened to the time?
Oh my gosh, I just blink and the day goes by. Well, you know, guys, I tell you, I don't know where the time flies. I hope we got in some of your questions. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I know I've had a great time. I think we've all enjoyed. Lord Tony, I see him in the chat. Lord Tony, I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry I can't get you back in here. This is just the world of live broadcasting.
One thing I want to bring up, during our last meeting, I showed the book that I had made, and I need to make a clarification on that because people want to know if I'm selling that book. No, that book is not for sale. That book actually belongs to the OPC. It doesn't really belong to me. It's for prayers only. And I write down the prayer requests in that book. A lot of people, you know, are wondering, you know, if I'm going to be making books. No, that's Lady Angela's department, because it took me 6 times to get that book to the point it's at now, and it's still not perfect. You know, and I need to let people know that, you know, I'm not making books. My job is wands. I took printing in high school over 30 plus years ago, so my book binding is gone. But, you know, on the wand and stuff, I can do that. Books, you have to go to Lady Angela, but she's better at it. She's got the tools for it. I am not equipped.
Well,
so I need to let people know that, because, you know, I've had people going, "Are you going to make books?" No, it's too strenuous. I can't do it. I'm not that young anymore. That's Lady Angela's department. I'll let her have that headache. Sorry, Lady Angela, but
that's all right.
No, I won't do it.
Wow. Well, you know, now, Carol, forgive me. I'm going to tip the hat a little bit here. But once Lady Carol gets resettled, I'm hearing a rumor she might be having an Etsy store.
Yeah.
She's going to have all sort of stuff. And I can tell you, she is a talented artist. And for those of you who have not seen her wand, Carol,
I have one here.
Magic staff real quick.
Is
it back away?
Well, I have one of Carol's wands.
Oh yeah, you do. You have the dragon. I mean, the
This
castle.
is my favorite one, though. Actually, this one she calls a castle wand. They're amazing. I had purchased some from her to resell, and I fell in love with them all, and I claimed them for myself. so you will fall in love with them too. She does amazing work. This one I love so well. It has the wire wrapped down it. It has black stick here. It has gold tone. It has the crystal embedded very nicely at the end. This is my favorite wand, this particular one, and Carol made this. So I'm sure that we can look forward to a whole lot more of treasures such as this that Carol makes. And yeah, I know what you mean about binding them books. It's not as easy as it's cracked up to be. No, I agree with you.
No, I had to take, it's not even what you make. You know, I just tried to come up with some kind of way of putting all the prayers in some type of book that would represent the LPC. But it took me 6 times. I mean, you have no idea how many notebooks I ripped apart trying to make that thing.
Yeah.
And not to mention, you know, I sew. I don't like to hand sew because needles hurt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you gotta have special stuff.
Yeah, and I've got a 1-year-old grandson running around. Stuff. No, that's not gonna happen for me.
Gotcha.
I stick with wands. They're a lot easier for me, and you know, I can keep them away from the baby and not have to fight with that.
Right.
But
well, good deal.
This is for those of you who haven't seen it. This is the sacred staff. I can kind of show you a close up. I've actually added more onto it, and I put a few more totems on it. I now have a book for you, Lady Angela.
Thank you.
I have some totem animals on here, an owl, a cat, a moon, you know, just different little things. And what I do with this is, as someone sends prayers in for themselves, a family member, their pet, I try to put that into the staff, so that it can be a point of energy to, you know, help them with their healings and, you know, influence the prayer a little bit more. I call upon the energy of the earth when I use this. That's the purpose of the book, so that I can go to the book and go, okay, who needs a healing prayer today? Oh, this person, this person, this person, that person. Instead of having little scraps of paper all over the place, I have them in a book now. But I am not doing books. I'm going to tell you that now. That was a little nightmare for me to try and go back 30 plus years and remember how to bind a book. No.
Well, Lady Carol, I have a request for your staff.
Okay.
2 requests, actually. Since you put a book on for Lady Angela, could you put on a sword for Lord Tony and a chalice for me?
Yes, as soon as I get them in the mail. I ordered them already.
Ah, really? Oh my God, I can't believe that.
I'm still waiting for them to come in. But I haven't forgotten you guys at all.
I didn't know you were going to do that for us. I mean, that's a surprise to me. I just was thinking, I'd love that.
The staff is a harder one to find. I may have to make a small one.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you could with your crafting, how you can make things just very detailed too. I'm sure you could cook up something good.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Well, guys, we're running late, so
Tony's back.
There,
Yeah.
Tony, you okay? Did you go into Netherland on the internet?
I don't know what happened. My screen went blank, but then I realized I'm still hearing voices coming through my phone's camera, and like, well, somewhere I'm still connected in here, and I found it.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
It was probably your friend that's in the ethers messing with you again.
Yep.
I believe.
Yeah, I think it's the Illuminati.
Oh, on that note, maybe we should call it a night.
Well, guys, I want to thank you all for coming out and staying with us. We had a good time. Thanks for staying with us throughout our technical challenges. Hey, it's just part of being witches and live broadcast. But listen, if you want to join the Order of the Purple Cord, get membership is free. Go to my website, robert-hickman.com. I got a link below. You can read about the order. It's got links over there to the Facebook page, and it's all in one spot. I would encourage you also to visit Lady Angela's website if you want to look at her stuff. Definitely, she has a wonderful store of rare Wicca spells. You can buy all sorts of magical things there. And so keep it here at Spiritual. We got more coming. Tomorrow's Monday. We're going to have horoscopes here. Horoscopes to be here. Yeah.
Can't wait. I need mine.
It's something we do every Monday. I'm going to give through all the major transits of the week and then give horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs. So make sure to keep it here. I want each of you guys to say good night. Make sure to give your website info.
Good night, everybody. If you take a peek at me over at rarewiccaspells.com, I have all sorts of cool witchy items there. And also use coupon code Spirit Channel to save 10% on every order. And also check out Bob's website. It's super awesome. And see what he's about. It's at robert-hickman.com. If you haven't had a reading with him, truly think about it. Get one. They're really life-changing. They're amazing. He's awesome. So
thank you so much, Lady Angela. Can I just throw in a little plug for myself? I forgot to say. Yeah, if you want to get on my schedule for a private reading, call soon because we're getting pretty full right now. But I do still have a few spots open. Probably won't be till later in the week, but we'll make it happen. Private reading with me, an hour, you and me one-on-one. We're going to cover everything, past, present, future issues, past lives, spirit guides, messages from loved ones, your life mission, your life theme, what you're doing. These are all your questions. So I cover a lot of stuff. You can, again, read about my readings and connect with me over at my website, and the link will be below. Lord Tony.
You can find me at Google Lightbringer's Angel. You can read my story over there, contact me, get a hold of me for whatever reason if you want to, talk. I don't care. Yeah. Angelic healing, what I like to do. So link would be in the description.
Oh, he's awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Lord Tony's link is going to also be below this video. Look below. Okay. Lord Tony, I'm sorry to cut you up, but I wanted them to know where they could find that quickly.
Oh, that's no problem. Yeah, I just agreed with y'all. I said, yeah, I'm awesome. So, yeah.
He's awesome.
Tony rocks.
Now, wait a second. Lady Angela, I need you to distract Tony so I can slip into his garage and steal that titanium.
All right. What you got, Carol?
Carol, do you want to say good night?
I don't have a website yet, but I'm going to see if I can help Bob out because he doesn't have a way to carry his books, so I'm going to show them.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say, dear? I'm
Oh,
sorry,
she's
I lost it.
promoting your books.
Oh, God bless you, dear. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that.
She has them all, Bob.
You got to talk, Lady Carol, won't
All
you?
except one, and I'm still waiting for that.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually.
Thank you, Bob's a little slow on that. Thank you.
Bob's books are great too, even before he and I became such close friends, and I got a hold of some of his books and read them. And it's just like he is here on YouTube, it's just like he's sitting there next to you and you're reading his book and it's like he's talking to you, it's even better than when he reads the Sylvia Brown book in the classes recently, because it's Bob and he's telling you his views, his perspective, his tale. And the way it flows, it's Bob. That's something I know about Bob for being his good friend. Bob is always Bob. He's always the same him. And even in his writing, it comes through. It's a real treasure. If you like watching him on YouTube, you're going to love reading his books. And you can find them at robert-hickman.com on the books tab.
Thank you so much, Lady Carol and Lady Angela. That's very
my favorite one is Messages.
Say that, Carol?
That one's
my
my
favorite one. Messages from Rose.
Oh, yay. Thank you. That's one of my favorite books too. Speaking of books, and then we do have to close out. I'm working on an astrology book as well as a official manual for the Order of the Purple Course. So in the coming months, we will have, hopefully, my goal at this point is to have it out in August, or at least a draft to all the officers that will finalize, hopefully by the end of August. So there will be a membership manual that'll be for all of you to read as well.
Yep.
All right. Well, guys, I think it's time to close up shop for the night. But I am so thankful that you're here. Listen, we need your help. Like this video, favorite it, share with your friends, hit subscribe, be part of our channel. We'd love you to be here. Go check out everybody's links. They'll be in the box below. Definitely go buy your stuff. Have a session with Tony, write to Carol for prayers, and we're going to make it all happen, okay? So I thank you for being here. I love you guys. Blessings to all of you. We'll see you back here tomorrow for horoscopes. And until then, may you all always blessed
be.